Hello, my name is Norman Gray. I'm a grateful and a recovering alcoholic. Topic for today on this particular tape that I'm starting is recovery, the road that I took to get on recovery. And this is my first tape, and I hope to make a whole lot more, and one day that these tapes will be heard by somebody that's trying to do the same thing I'm doing, recovering, for the newcomer that's going to try to recover. I hope that I may say something good, something that means something to somebody, and even something that somebody can relate to here down the road. It took me a long time to try to recover, even to anticipate the thought of recovery. Recovery to me was a long, drawn-out process. I kind of been my own doctor for a long time. A long time meaning 26 years. I went from one thing to another thing. When I say things, I mean chemical dependency type of things. It wasn't just alcohol. I was a little druggie, and a little glue sniffer, a pill popper, and all kinds of things like that. And so I just woke up one day at the age of 39 and went on to work just like a normal day, sick and insane and all that old kind of stuff. I was kind of used to being sick and insane. It was a way of life to me. I never thought I could be helped, or never even tried to look for no help, really. A few times I thought I wanted to, but it didn't last too long, because I went on continued being insane and getting sicker and sicker as time went on. And so one evening around, I guess around March the 15th, March the 18th, if I'm not mistaken, and my brain was so clouded then I really can't remember the exact date, but I come off from work, normal day at work, drinking at break time, getting high at lunchtime, and all that kind of stuff, and I came on home, went up to my normal hood up on Bullis and Alonzo, and stopped and drank the short dog, and I think I borrowed $10 from a dude up there that I used to hang around with, one of them old road dogs, as we call them, on the hood, and went on and commenced to getting even higher, you know what I mean? And then I found myself coming home, all depressed, all wind up, all sick, all broke. And I was coming into the house, and there was my wife, my 3 daughters, and I was high just like normal, and they kind of looked at me with all them old crazy looks that us alcoholics and drug addicts don't like to see. And hey, I went on in my little cell, which I used to call my cell, my bedroom, and just commenced on feeling sorry for myself, and laid there. This new word that in the 90s that's been popped up and you hear so much, stretched out, and we say stretched out, and the real terminology of it is stressed out, but we make a joke out of it and use it the way we normally use things incorrectly. And I was all stretched out, and hey, I'm laying there feeling all sorry for myself, hied up and drunked up and just all fucked up, you know what I mean? And I just just commenced on arguing with my wife, you know what I mean? Really dissing her, talking all kind of shit, and she don't like the way I look, and she don't like the way I act, she can just get the hell out of my life, I was just sick and tired of being sick and tired of looking at her too, I was sick and tired of every goddamn thing, including me, especially me, and having all these good people around me, it just made me even more sick and tired of it. I was finding everything. Sex wasn't right, the job wasn't right, the children wasn't acting right, I had all kind of excuses. You know how us alcoholics, we could find an excuse for every goddamn thing, and really I was looking at myself too, I was just sick and tired, and I just couldn't take it no more, and I just, politely, not even politely, I just commenced to bickering and talking shit and howling and screaming at my wife, and she was always looking at me with this old disgusted look on her face, and I got tired of that too, you know what I mean, looking at me like that, and I just got to really dissing bad, you know what I mean? Why don't you, talking to her indirectly, why don't you just get out of my life? You're sick and tired of me, I'm sick and tired of you, and, things just ain't working, you know what I mean? And, just get on, get the hell out of here, I I didn't think too much about it at the time because I did this old shit a lot of times, here in California and in Baltimore at the apartment building we used to live in, and I didn't think too much of it. I was just in a dissing mood, and I just felt like dissing, so I dissed. And so, everything went pretty cool the rest of the night. She slept on the sofa as usual. She couldn't stand to sleep in the bed with me anyway. It wasn't nothing there too tough, not on her side or my side. And she was sick and tired of it too, and I could see that in her face. And I just, I was happy with that. I was in the bed by myself prior to her sleeping on the sofa that night. 3 or 4 weeks or 2 or 3 weeks on and off any goddamn way. So it wasn't no big thing her being on the sofa to me. I was kind of glad. How as alcoholics is. I was in my little heaven in that room, all hired up and drunked up. So I was glad she was gone. I had the whole big bed to myself, and so I commenced on going to sleep, and in that little insane way of going to sleep. Now I look back on it, I never did go to sleep. I just nodded out, or passed out, and so I commenced on going to sleep, or nodding out, as we say, and I woke up the next morning. I was normally get up at 5 o'clock, get up at 5 o'clock for several reasons. I had to be to work by 7, and I had to get to the liquor store by 6, so I could be to work by 7, and so I got on up, and she was laying on the sofa as normal, and went on to commenced to getting dressed, and doing my old morning routine, you know what I mean, throwing up in the zinc and shitting in the toilet, one part of my ass on the toilet, the other part of my head, the other part of my body in the zinc, throwing up, I didn't know if I was coming or going most of the time, and hey, I just got up and, regular normal old day, being sick when I got up and sick when I left the house and sick till I got to the liquor store, At least I made it out of here, I was always going to work type of thing, and so I went on with my old regular day routine, went on, stopped at the liquor store 5 after 6 and got my short dog and went on to work, you know what I mean? It was on a Friday. I was kind of glad it was Friday. I got paid, so I don't know, in a little while, 3:30 rolled around. I was commenced to getting high and then come on home, you know what I mean? It was a regular old thing to me. It was every day. It was normal, like, in my own same way. I thought I had it going on, and things wasn't that bad. I ain't never had no money, but I still had a nice house, a nice wife, 3 lovely daughters, and a real good job. So I took it as, everything was normal, you know what I mean? I didn't think about it too tough about me cussing her off that night before and all of that, I did that a lot of times, and so, like I say, I went on to work, got my check, and got off at 3:30, stopped at the hood, got a short dog before I got to the hood. You stop at the liquor store and cash the checks every Friday. And we cashed the checks, and got me a short dog at the store, and came a little further uptown, jumped on across the tracks, got me a little hit, and, just did my normal thing, I hung around for a little while, and I rode on in town, and hung at the hood up on bullets in the laundry, and just commenced doing what I normally do, and that was fucking up, you know what I mean? Really tearing myself down, and so things went on like that for a minute, we just laid and kicked and drank a little wine, drank a little more wine, So I came on home after a little while. I guess it might have been about, 7:30, 8 o'clock, I came on home. It was Friday. I'll never forget this day, And I walked in the house, and my wife wasn't there, you know what I mean? My 2 daughters was, and I said, "You heard from your mother, I said, "No." So it really didn't dawn on me that she really would leave me, you know what I mean? And I just sit on the sofa, I'm hired up now, ain't too much penetrating in this old sick mind of mine, no way, you know what I mean? I was just thinking, damn, maybe she stopped over at a girlfriend's house, so I just went on in my little cell block back there, being my bedroom and everything, and cut my TV on and commenced to laying there and nod, you know what I mean? I had a pack of cools, a short dog, and a few dollars in my pocket, high as a Georgia pie, so it wasn't nothing for me to worry about. In my old insane mind, I had it going on. So I laid there a little while long, and I guess it dawned on me about 8 or 9 o'clock that this woman wasn't coming home, you know what I mean? And hey, I suddenly, got a little funny feeling about it, you know what I mean? I can't say right now whether I was glad or happy or just what the hell the feeling was, but I realized that she wasn't coming home, that she was just sick and tired of my shit too, and so, I missed on laying there and nodding and wallowing in my goddamn pity and all that old kind of shit, and so I'm nodding on out, you know what I mean? Just like normal, went on to sleep, and I guess I woke up Saturday morning around the same time. I would always get up 5:30, 5 o'clock, 5:30, and because I always knew my body had to have that hit in me to function good, so Monday to Saturday to Sunday, I get up real early in the morning, make my round and get my hit and come on back. So, like I say, I went on and nodded out, and I woke up at normal old time, and hey, wasn't no Lily around, you know what I mean? Hey, then it really dawned on me, this woman really got tired of my shit, Out all the times I done told her that stuff, and all that old bullshit, and dissing her in front of my daughters, and screaming and hollering, and slamming doors, and, raising a whole lot of shit over nothing, and being the cause of all that shit. But now I think of it, hey, I just was amazed that she finally had enough, you know what I mean? And it really dawned on me, I just sit there and just all fucked up, I know what I do. I just get on up and do my old regular thing. Go get me a short dog, and I think about this shit as I'm drinking it, and so like I say, as the day go on, it's really dawning on me, this lady left me. This lady's been with me for over 19 years, and married to my old foolish ass for 15 years, and I just couldn't really believe that she had enough of me. And, even though in my old sick old mind, I was glad she had enough of me. I was tired of her looking at me with that old disgusting look in her face. I was tired of seeing it every day. At least I thought I was, you know what I mean? But that was that old insane part of me up there thinking all that old bullshit, And, hey, I was like, all right, she's gone. And got my daughters halfway together, and looked at them and said, hey, I think Mama's gone, And they turned around and looked at me and said, she ain't gone, Daddy, you put out, And I'm like, well, I done put out before. She ain't never went nowhere. I had to make an excuse up, I was alcoholics. We got to make an excuse up. I done did that a whole lot of times talking to my children, And she ain't never left, so, that ain't no big thing what I did, I meant it when I said it, but I didn't really mean it, Like I say, making up them excuses again, and when the day went on, and I'm riding in town with my daughters, realizing now that I done fucked up royally now, righteously, and I'm just riding in town, Matter of fact, it was the 16th of March. I remember real clear because my rent was due on the 15th, and I'm riding in town. I'm gonna pay the rent later, you know what I mean? At least we have a roof over our heads, So I commenced to riding in town. I got my two daughters with me, so my daughters are kind of old now. They 15 and 13 and 19, Back in the old days, I used to be able to fool them with my old foolish self. At least I thought I was fooling them, because they were so much younger, But right now, I can't fool them no more, They can look in my face and tell when I'm high, and when I'm drunk, and when I'm under the influence, and when I ain't, and all of that kind of shit, even my old sick old whack old self, you know what I mean? And this old alcoholic brain and drug addict moods I be in. Hey, I realize I can't fool them no more, and they just look at me, and my baby was real down on me, you know what I mean? She was a part of this recovery, part of this road that I went on recovery too, along with myself and all the other shit, there's idiocracies out there that finally sunk in this old thick ass head of mine, being a tourist and all. I've always been a little bit more stubborn than the average alcoholic, but so we riding on into town, me and my two daughters, I'm gonna pay the rent, drop them off at the hood. They had a couple girlfriends they didn't grew up with since we've been out here in California, and they was pretty cool family, a dude named Charlie and his wife, and he had a couple daughters, so I'm gonna drop them off at the hood and ride on down to pay this rent lady so we can at least have a roof over our head. I always believed in having somewhere to stay in, especially since I've been in here in California, because I ain't got nowhere that I can go besides home, And so I went on in town, dropped the children off. Even before I get in town, my daughter's talking to me, Daddy, look at you, you just ain't right, you know what I mean? You dissing mama and you looking bad and I don't know, Daddy, you just ain't right, you're using drugs and you're drinking all the time, and my 13-year-old said, Daddy, what kind of drugs you use, and I really couldn't admit to her, what I used, but I said, well, I use a whole lot of different things, honey, She was asking me why you use them, and she was just commenced to crying and getting all upset, saying, Daddy, why? If something happened to you, I'd die. I couldn't stand nothing for happening to you, and I'm sitting there listening at a 13-year-old explain life to me, you know what I mean? And hey, it choked me all up. I couldn't even have no explanation for this child, you know what I mean? What was leading me down this path, I really didn't understand what was leading me down the path, because I was insane. My whole life was all bottled up, I was depressed and a lot of other old dumb shit, they're the same mind of mine, just it's been so sick for so long. There's no explanation for all the shit I was doing, I was just doing it, I thought it was a way of life, you know what I mean? I just got in a rut that I just couldn't get out of, and that was one of my old excuses, you know what I mean? I was sick, you know what I mean? And so like I say, we riding on down to the hood, and she asked me, she said, well, why don't you just try to stop, Daddy? Just try to stop getting high. So I just sit there, like I say, I couldn't say nothing, I was just all flabbergasted, all choked up, and feeling even more sorry for myself. I didn't have an explanation for a 13-year-old girl, one that I raised, and like I say, I was just even feeling more sorry for myself. So eventually we got on down where we was going at, and they got out the car, and as soon as they got out the car, I ran into a buddy of mine that was out there doing the same thing I was doing, and being all depressed and having a few dollars in my pocket, I said, let's go get high, and we commenced to go on to get high. So it didn't take that long, you know what I mean? It didn't take that long to get high. We went and got high and came on back. And they're supposed to been going to pay the rent people, but I ain't made it down there yet. So we gets back to the apartment with my daughters and that. I thought they was upstairs, so I was sneaking around the back. And hey, there goes that baby of mine again, looking at me in the right dead in the eye. Look at you, Daddy. You ain't right. Look at you. You hard now. You ain't been down here 5 minutes. And that just made me even feel more bad, But hey, I'm insane, you know what I mean? My brain is all jacked up now, and plus I'm high now, so I really couldn't say nothing. I'm ashamed. I can't even look her in the eye. So like I say, I'm just more and more depressed now. The high ain't even nothing. I'm high, but I ain't high, It just wasn't working no more. So I just hung around and just felt sorry for myself all that evening, just sitting on they got a little back stall back there where the cars park at. I'm just sitting down there all by myself. My baby's all upset with me. I'm all upset with myself. And wouldn't you know, another buddy comes straggling along, you know what I mean? Hey, Norman, what's going on? Ain't nothing going on, man. I ain't got no money, ain't nothing working in my life. So, he's just sitting there listening at me kind of whine and all. I said, come on, let's go get high, Hey, I was insane enough to get up and say, shit, you got some money? He said, yeah, I got some money. And, hey, we went on and commenced to getting more high, you know what I mean? Got in my car, which kept a nice car, Hey, got in my car, and, hey, we was down the road again. We had it going on. We riding straight to the dope house, he liked a little cocaine. I like numerous of shit. So, we went to somewhere where they had everything we wanted at. So we commenced to getting high, you know what I mean? I still ain't made it to the rent man house yet, you know what I mean? So we sitting there getting high. I'm trying to blank out all this shit that's happening in my life, So I'm really getting high. I'm getting higher than the pines now, you know what I mean? I mean the Georgia pines, and so we finished that little spree. I think my partner had about $40, $40, in his pocket, which he had some more at the pad, So I'm still riding around with this rent money in my pocket. So I tell homeboy I got to go pay this rent, man, if I mess up this money. So he said, oh, he was toasted too. So he commenced to riding with me. We get back in the old L Dog, and we take a ride on down to the rent people. All the rent people $700. I was a little short last month. So now I got about $520 in my pocket. So I've always been one of the most sick, insane ass people. I ain't believe in paying nobody all the money, no goddamn way. You know, I ain't paying the rent, I ain't paying the phone bill, I ain't paying the gas and electric. Don't have no money in my pocket. I wouldn't pay my mother and not have no money in my pocket. So that was beyond anything I would think about doing was to give somebody all the money that I had in my pocket, regardless of what the bills was. So we went on down there to the lady house, and I had $520 left by that time. So I went in there and gave the lady a old sad story, you know, told her my wife left me and made a few more good lies up and, you know, just commenced running my old alcoholic, drug addict game down to her. You know, she was always felt kind of sorry for me anyway, you know what I mean? So, you know, she ate it up as normal. You know, as alcoholics and drug addicts can be very convincing when we have to be. So I went on and laid it on down with her, you know, and took her outside, even put a little tears in my eyes. You know, I'm running cold yang on this woman, you know what I mean? I got her eating out of my hand. I ain't taking the $500 and, you know, giving her all kind of promises. I'll be back next week or as soon as I can with some more money when I get my life all straightened out or when I get my finance straightened out, I'll catch up on the lateness and all of that, you know. She went on and commenced eating all that shit up, you know what I mean? You know how we can be very convincing. I've always had a sort of gift of gab, especially if I'm looking at you, you know what I mean? So my buddy's sitting out in the car, you know what I mean? So I give the lady $500. I still got 20 smacks in my pocket, right? So I don't go back to my buddy. I stayed about half an hour talking to this woman because I had to lay down some heavy shit to her, you know what I mean? I had to convince her that I was doing bad, you know, which I really was, you know, but I didn't know I was doing as bad as I was, you know. This is sad, you know, we've been out all day. My buddy's still sitting in the car, you know, I'm thinking about him too. I know he's getting a little restless out there in that car because I've been in there running this yang on this woman for about 20, 30 minutes. So after I get tired of doing that, I jumps up and, you know, say bye and see you in a little while. And as soon as I get some money, I'll have all, you know, be right back down here to give you something. My name was Miss Betty, you know. So, you know, like I say, Miss Betty was sitting there listening at me and feeling sorry for me. And she went on and took the $500, so I felt a little better about myself. At least I got the rent paid, you know. And hey, you know, so me and my buddy went on and got back in the car. We cranked the old dog up again, you know what I mean? So he said, let's go to the bank. You know, I got some money at the bank. Let's go commence the store getting high. So I said, all right, you know, that was right up my alley. I was already all jacked up anyway, you know. Saturday evening, it's a little late now. My daughter's planning on staying down at friend's house for the weekend. So, you know, that was up my alley. Like I said, this is how insane I was. I was already all fucked up, you know what I mean? I hadn't eaten in a couple of days with all this other bullshit on my mind and all that kind of stuff, you know. And, so me and my buddy commenced to riding again, you know what I mean? So we wind up on the hood, Long Beach Boulevard, matter of fact, and we went on to the instant teller, and we went on, got another $50 and commenced to going back to the same dope house. You know, I like that dope house because it had everything any insane person wanted to do around there, you know. So we sit there. He loaned me 10. You know, he was tired of supporting me now, so now he gonna loan me some money. You know what I mean? You know how us drug addicts is. You know, after a while, you know, you can't keep on riding for free. You know. So, you know, I was glad of that. You know, it didn't bother me one bit taking some money from somebody. You know, I'd take some money from a dead man if he had it on him. You know what I mean? I promised a nigga the world for some money to get high with, or just some money, period. So I went on to take the money with a promise to him that I'll pay him his money back. You know, don't worry about it, yo. And so, like I say, we went on and got high some more. And now it's a little late on in the evening. I guess it's, shit, maybe 9, 10 o'clock. You know what I mean? My buddy's tired of getting high, you know. We broke now. Still got that old $20 worth of snaps in my pocket because I got to have some gas money and all of that shit, you know. So I went on and dropped him off at the hood, you know, and he went on in the house. And now I'm coming home, you know. I'm coming home to this house now. Well, ain't nobody in here because it didn't really dawn on me. Or really, I know that Lily ain't going to be there when I get there because she done already left. And, you know, I told you earlier down the road that I didn't drop my daughters off. Spend the night over their girlfriend's house. My oldest girl was over her girlfriend's house. So now I'm coming home to this house all by myself. Well, actually, I ain't by myself. I'm good and high, and I got a short dog and a pack of coos. I got it going on in this insane mind of mine, you know what I mean? Fuck it, you know what I mean? She gone, and the rent paid, and I just got to do the best I can do now, you know? I done been in harder spots than this, so, like I say, I'm sick, you know what I mean? And I can't think of the reality. Ain't no reality dawn on this nigga yet. What's reality? You know what I mean? Reality to me was getting up, going to work, and having the rent paid, and staying high, doing what I wanted to do. That's what reality was to me before I got my head straight. So I came on in with my old best buddy, that old short dog of Thunderbird. I'll let you know I drank Thunderbird in my last round. And I got my short dog, my pack of coos. I come on in. House all dark and shit, it wasn't no big thing. She gone, so what? Like I say, I'm tripping with this all day long, you know what I mean? Just wallowing in my own self-pity, really. But like I say, I'm insane, this brain's been so sick for so long, that shit don't mean nothing to me. It ain't even penetrated in my head what the hell's going on. All I know is I got a whole lot of goddamn problems, and I can't seem to solve a goddamn one of them, not add one of them. And got plan A, plan B, plan C, all the way up to Z and everything in between it, and still can't solve a goddamn thing. So I come on in, cut the TV on, went on back in my old cell block, you know what I mean? I got TV in the living room, TV in the bedroom, so I just feel more comfortable in the old cell block back there. And cut my old TV on and commenced to laying across the bed, throw my clothes all on the floor and shit. Popped my short dog. Matter of fact, I think it was already popped because I used to love to drive and drink, you know what I mean? That was common occurrence to me, I was like getting up smoking a cigarette. I couldn't have nothing in my car and wasn't drinking it. I wouldn't give a fuck if I had 10 sheriffs out there riding the street. I found a way to do what I wanted to do regardless. This is an old sick-ass mind of mine always telling me I could do all this shit. I ain't had no regard for no law and shit like that if he wasn't looking at me. And I've learned a long time ago, the best way to do something is when somebody looking at you any goddamn way. That's how crazy I am. So, like I say, I came on in and went on, lay across the bed and got my short dog laying right beside me. I kept it in arm's length because my arms are longer than the bed was high, so I just throw my arm on the side of the bed, pick my old short dog up, and I got so goddamn good, I ain't even had to lift up to drink the shit. I could just lay straight down like a goddamn dead man and drink a half a short dog with one gullet, in a cool in the other hand. So I just commenced to laying there feeling sorry for myself, all high up, higher than I was from the beginning of the day. Now I'm just high, depressed, and all sick, you know what I mean? And in here all by my goddamn self. I got a pretty nice sized house here in Norwalk, 3 bedrooms. And like I say, I'm here all by myself. I ain't eating about a day and a half, maybe 2 days. And now this wine and all these drugs I done put in me, it's starting to kick up in my stomach, you know what I mean? Now I can't even hold this short dog down too good enough. So I'm just commencing even getting sicker and sicker, I'm already was sick upstairs in the head. Now I'm getting physically sick because I ain't eating. And now I'm heaving and throwing up yellow shit and all that shit. Now I'm in the bathroom, head in the toilet. I'm talking about knees on the floor and head in the toilet, man. I ain't shitting neither. I'm throwing up, and can't even hardly see that good, looking in the mirror and my eyes all red, and I come out the bathroom and now I can't even make it to the bathroom no more. I'm heaving so bad. I got my trash can in the bedroom on the floor, you know what I mean? I don't know if any of y'all ever experienced this, when you're throwing up so hard in your chest and it feel like you're having a heart attack. And ain't nothing coming out because ain't nothing in there to come out but wine, you know what I mean? And drugs don't really come up too goddamn good when ain't no food down in their system, And hey, I'm just commenced to heaving and having all these bad chest pains and just wilding and feeling sorry and more sorry for myself. And I'm just all fucked up now. I'm fucked up physically. I'm fucked up mentally. I'm depressed, stretched out. I'm just a total wipeout right now. You know what I mean? I'm sick and tired of every goddamn thing. So, hey, what does this insane person think about doing that? Hey, let's blow your goddamn head off. That's what come in my mind. I'll fix all this goddamn shit. I'll stop it now. You know what I mean? I always been a little gun crazy and kept a gun around me all the time. Matter of fact, I told 357 Magnum today. I don't tow this far as carrying around with me every day, but I got one in my possession. So I commenced to getting this gun from underneath the bed because I'm sick and tired of this motherfucker here. Slick and all these other people that's inside of me. I just can't stand none of them. I'm just sick and tired of being sick and tired of this motherfucker. I can't straighten this shit up. And the only way I could think I was to blow my goddamn head off. You know what I mean? I got a $50,000 life insurance policy. So I said, I'm going to fix all this goddamn shit. So I commenced to getting that goddamn gun out from underneath the bed. I throw that gun in my mouth. I cocked the hammer back, you know what I mean? And I said, good God Almighty, I dropped the gun back, put the hammer back down, put it between my legs, you know, I said, Lord have mercy. All I got to do is kill myself and all this shit be over with, you know what I mean? But hey, I was always scared of pain and hurting my own goddamn self anyway, you know? So I just sit there and wallowed and thought about it a little bit more, you know what I mean? So I'm old sick-ass way, thank the Lord. Right now, I couldn't do it, you know? I found another excuse why I couldn't do that, you know? Excuse was I didn't want my daughters to come in the room and find my goddamn head blowing all over the bed. And I don't know, the grace of God, they just came across my mind coming in the house and finding me laying in the bed with my goddamn back of my head blown off. And I put them through enough misery and pain and torture and all of that, so I just couldn't commence to doing that shit. So I cocked that gun down and put it underneath the bed. You know, I guess a little cowardness came out of me, but I just couldn't do that.